I also had the opportunity to watch the reactions of other people while we were, while my side was going through hypoxia, and then, afterwards we put our masks on and I got to watch the other side go through hypoxia. And it was really interesting because, for example, the guy who was sitting next to me, so, same side, we have our masks off at the same time. The guy sitting next to me went the whole 5 minutes, and he filled out practically his entire sheet. And he seemed to be pretty sharp, pretty on it. But when people told him, hey, it's time to put your mask on, you could see that there was just this disconnect, this lack of coherence. He just wasn't getting it. And he kind of fumbled towards this switch that turned on his oxygen supply, but he couldn't push it, and then he wasn't putting the mask over his face, so the tech had to help him connect so he could breathe. And it was just very, very interesting that he had that kind of confusion, just could not accept and perform commands. I got to watch, after our whole side got our masks on, I was watching the opposite side, and it was interesting seeing the different symptoms across all the people. The guy on the far left, he looked really, really tired, and apparently fatigue is one of the symptoms, but he looked like he could fall asleep just like that. The next guy over, his chest just started heaving. You could see him going, which is normal. He's trying to breathe in, bring in extra air, but it just wasn't working. But you could see him trying to do that. The next girl, she's a little bit older than me. She was the funnest one, so I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about her. So this girl, she also went the whole 5 minutes without her mask. And she started out really strong. She wrote a lot down on her sheet. And she was looking up, and she's checking out the color wheels on the opposite wall, and the eye chart at the end of the chamber, same eye chart that you'd see in the doctor's office. So she's being very observant. And but at a certain point, she just kind of spaces out, just kind of stares. And I hear over the intercom, "Number 8, are you okay?" And she doesn't really answer. And, you hear the call, "It's time to put on your masks." 5 minutes, everyone put on your masks. And she doesn't do it. She just kind of keeps staring. "Number 8, time to put on your mask. Number 8, put your mask on." And I saw her, raise her hand towards her oxygen switch, and then put her hand back on her lap. She kind of raised the hand toward her mask, and then put her hand back in her lap. So she was not complying to this, and she just looks completely incoherent. She's just not responding. And I heard one of the techs who was outside the chamber, they've got cameras on the inside, so they're watching all of this. And I hear over the intercom, "Hey, you've got to get oxygen on her now. She's about to go." And, the tech, he was right there, even while the words were coming out of her mouth. He was right there. He got the oxygen on her face. Got the flow going and everything. And it was scary for a minute because her hands were shaking a bit and her eyelids were fluttering. She was that close to passing out. But she didn't. And within a handful of seconds, 20 seconds maybe, she was fine. She's back on the oxygen and she recovered fine. "Are you okay, number 8? She gives the okay signal. And, a minute later, they're asking her questions, just making sure that she's okay, she's not hyperventilating or anything bad. And one of the techs asks her, "Hey, number 8, do you remember when you got your oxygen mask put on your face?" And she's like, "Nope, no, I don't." And I thought that was really interesting. And I also didn't say, somewhere around the 3-minute mark, you could see her lips visibly turning purple. And I'd never seen that before on somebody either. It was great though, because all the techs were like, "That was the best hypoxia demonstration I've ever seen. That was textbook. Can we show you the other classes?" They got all excited about that. So, and she was all proud and excited that she was such a great example for everyone. So, she was super great about it. So really awesome experience getting to see the symptoms of hypoxia in other people.